Hello once again, welcome to my video tutorial on how to make a simple image editor using HTML and CSS. So you might want this editor for your website or anything else here. So you might want this editor for your website, a website you're building. So this is a very cool image editor and I'll test it out for you. So we have the original image being displayed and let's edit it using the grayscale. So as I click on it, wow, it just changed into black and white, and the blur function, okay, and the sepia. Okay, so it seems this works pretty awesome. So you might be interested to know how to make this. So without wasting my time, let's just start with our project. So I have notepad++ open and I created a folder where we'll be keeping our files. Okay, so now let's enter our basic HTML. So I have it saved on my dashboard. Okay, so let me save this into that folder I created. It's on the desktop. Okay, it's having the name editor. Okay, so editor, and I'll name this editor.html. okay, so the next thing I want to do is link this to a CSS file. So as you know, as always, how we link CSS files, and I'll call this CSS file editor.css. It hasn't been created, but I'm here to create it. And whenever you are creating a CSS file, you like to bring this attribute style sheet. Okay, and the next thing I'll do is include a script, which is a JavaScript. Okay, so script. Okay, making it linear will look nice. Okay, so script, and I'll give it an src, which is a source. So a source of editor.js. Now let me create these two files. So I have this one being the editor.css, and this one also being editor.js. okay, so it seems I'm good to go. So let me save this. Now the first thing I want to do is add that image. So let me just get that image into my directory so that to make everything simple. So I have it over here, get it inside my directory, and let me rename this. So that's the image, and let me rename it maybe try image. So try img. okay, so try image.jpg. so now let me access it in my HTML. So I'll say img src try img.jpg, and I'd like to give it an ID of edit, because I'll be using that ID as a reference in the JavaScript. So an ID of edit, and let's keep it like this for the meantime. And the next thing I like to do is make those buttons. So just make a button. Okay, and I'll name this original, and let me just copy and paste this. So original, grayscale, I have the blur and the sepia. So grayscale, blur, and then sepia. Okay, so now let's review this in our browser and see how far we've gone. So as you can see, this image is very huge, so I like to resize it. I'll give it a width of 400 pixels and the height of 400 pixels. Okay, so let's review this again, and wow, we are good to go. So let's just make these buttons appear under the image by getting it a line breakage. Okay, so it's now pretty awesome, but these buttons don't do anything, so we are now to edit them. So the first thing we want to do is create, we want to enter our CSS that will edit the images actually. So the first thing we want to do is the original. No, the original is the original pic. So what we want to do is the grayscale, the blur, and then the sepia. So I'll say dot gray to make everything simple. I'm making it a class, and the next one will be dot blur, and the next one will be dot sepia. Okay, now what I want to do with the grayscale is whenever that class is chosen for an image, it should turn the image into a grayscale. Okay, so I'll give it a WebKit WebKit filter, and I'd like to say grayscale. Okay, so with the grayscale, I like to give it a grayscale of 100%. Okay, and to get out with the WebKit, we'll now say filter grayscale 100%, because the WebKit, with the WebKit, is just to make sure that there are some browsers that won't work with just this piece of code, but we'll need this one for them to work. So let me just copy this and stick them into the rest. So with the blur and with the sepia, and with this side I'd like to say blur, and with this side it doesn't take percentage but pixels, so I'll give it 5 pixels and just copy this and stick it here. Okay, so now let me end it with the sepia. So the sepia should also have 100%. Okay, now as I save this, so this one, the one we are working on. So when I refresh this, you see nothing appearing on click. So now the next functions we want to create is what should happen when these buttons are clicked. So let's move to our editor and give these buttons an onClick function. So onClick. So when this button is clicked, the function it should call is original. And let me space it up a bit. So the next one is the grayscale. So grayscale, and I'll call this grayscale. And the next one is the blur. With the blur, I'll give it a function of, the image will look that blurry, so I'll give it a function of blurry. And the sepia, I'll give it a function of sepia. So whenever these buttons are clicked, these various functions are to be called. And now let's see how to program this function so that they will get access to the CSS file and filter our image. So let's get to the editor.js and call the first function, which is the original. Okay, so with the original, what we want to do is document dot get element. We want to get that element we created, that's with the image, and we give it an ID of edit, if you may remember, and we'll say dot remove attribute. Okay, so after this I'll tell you why I'm doing this. So remove attribute class, and as you can see, the image has no class. Yeah, that means when it's having a class, is going to remove it, and when there's no class, it's going to remain how it is. Okay, so now back to our JavaScript file, and the next function we want to call is the grayscale. So function grayscale. So with the grayscale, document.get element by id element, and with this one we'll be adding an attribute. So we will say no, we won't be adding an attribute, rather we'll be setting the attribute. So we say set attribute class equal to, so equal to, and the class we created for the grayscale is gray. So let me check. Of course it's gray. And let's copy this and stick the same thing for our sepia. So we for our blur rather, so we take this here, change this to blurry, and document.get element by id, and change this class to blur because we made the class called blur. And the last thing we want to do is with the sepia. So we have the sepia, document.get element by id edit set attribute class to sepia. So let me check if it was sepia. Of course. So now let's save this whole bunch of code, run our code and see. So with the original, you see nothing happens to the image. With the grayscale, wow, it just changed to black and white. And with the blur, wow, it's working. So as you can see, that's the original image which has been blurred. And the next one is with the sepia. So with the sepia, yeah, as you can see, it has also changed to that sepia mode. So thank you for watching, and let me run you through my code once again. So here's the HTML. I made the image with an id edit, and I made these buttons that all have an onClick function that will call a function whenever they are clicked. And I linked this HTML file to a style sheet and a JavaScript file, and in the style sheet I made these functions called gray, blur, and sepia, and they all filter an image. So the next thing I did was, in the JavaScript, I called those functions that were an onClick function to a button, and whenever they are clicked, they are going to give the image a class of each editor or filter we'll be using. Okay, so thank you for watching my video, and in the next video I'll be teaching you how to rotate an image. We have this rotation and some other cool stuff. I'll be teaching you some other cool stuff, so please subscribe to my channel. So maybe some people also want to make theirs look as nice as this. Just CSS, add some CSS to your code and you appear like this. So please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my upcoming videos. Thank you.